So I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make as Christians when we're dating is that we feel that we are entitled to a good relationship and a good marriage and a partner that ticks all our boxes. And actually, that's not how God works. God doesn't promise you everything that's on your checklist. And he certainly doesn't promise you a marriage. He promises you fullness of life in whatever that looks like if you follow him. But we don't get to dictate what that looks like, right? And sometimes I think that sense of us deserving it, of us being entitled to it, of it being something that we definitely should have access to, means that we act entitled in our dating as well. We don't always treat people with the most care and kindness that they deserve just because we've decided that we're not attracted to them anymore. And that might mean ghosting them, it might mean not being particularly kind on a date, it might mean any number of things. But ultimately, we do need to be careful that we're showing people the honour and dignity and value that Christ assigns to them, and not just rate them based on our level of attraction to them and treat them accordingly, because that's just so not right. Another thing that we get wrong constantly is this passivity, this feeling that we don't need to sort of get out there because God's going to do the work for us. But if you want to buy a house, you don't just pray for it, you also look on Zoopla, right? So I'm not saying that necessarily that means the internet is the solution, but I'm saying God works with us when we use the tools that are provided to us. And maybe that means showing up to more church events, or serving on a ministry of some sort, or using a Christian dating app or something else. But I don't think we can expect that everything will just be given to us without doing any of the work ourselves. That may also mean putting yourself out there to ask someone out. We as Christians can often skirt around the idea of asking someone out. We can be really indirect and we can try and just sort of be in their sphere, but in reality, people really respect it when you speak to them honestly, when you say clearly what it is that you want from them, when you ask them on a date. And actually, there's nothing embarrassing about making a clear, respectful and kind approach and then having that person say no, because it doesn't diminish your value. It just means that they didn't see a connection. And I think that that's so important. And if anything, I respect someone more if they asked me out really clearly. And I think that we could do that better. And we could use the word date, so there's no ambiguity about whether or not we're on a date or just a coffee or a friend catch up. I think that that's also really important. Then once we have gotten on a date, often we feel this need to be certain, to sit down and know from the first 5 minutes that this is going to be your husband or your wife in order to continue dating. And you don't. If it's a maybe, it's a yes. Keep exploring until you know the person well enough to know for sure that it's a no or a yes. It doesn't have to be in that instant that you've suddenly got all of the answers. And I think that we dismiss people too soon by not giving them a chance to show new sides of their character, new sides of their hobbies, new sides of their interests, new sides of their personality. Because within the first sort of coffee date, we didn't immediately feel like we wanted to spend the rest of our lives with someone. I mean, come on. Who can know that? Who can make such a momentous decision in such a quick amount of time? And to be honest, if you are, you're basing that decision off of lust, because that's not love. In order to know if you love someone, you have to truly know them. And you're not giving yourself enough time to truly know someone if you're making a decision that quickly. So more time, more breathing space, a bit more gentleness without expecting fireworks from the first instance. And I think that we'll have far more happy marriages.